Welcome to Dungeonfire Hobbies. This is Nicole.
And I'm Jeff.
And today we're covering basic monster combat.
We worked on our tower a bit, made a funny looking cap that we don't really like.
And we also learned a bit about anvils and... what's that word?
Grindstones.
And anvils and grindstones. And then so you could say, so let's go build our town.
Oh, right, yes. So, let's go build our town. Huh, they changed the format for how this is all set up.
Did they?
At least on my end, they did. It's all, like, different menus and stuff.
Mine looks the same. I don't think Switch is, I don't think Switch would roll out changes as quickly as yours.
Yeah, it's probably just something... Oh, there goes my computer roaring.
In a loud way or a less loud way?
Very loud way.
Okay. I mean, I'm not hearing it, but it'll probably be picked up on the mic, but...
Probably, yeah.
Okay. I did some things, Jeff.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So, not like a ton of things, but I do want to get this on recording because it's... Oh yeah, we do our intros and outros at the end now because we don't... magic of editing. I'm up at the house. I don't know where you are.
I was running around town looking for you, but I am heading to the house now.
Well, I think mine loads slower than yours. So, if you come up to the house, I got 2 things to show you.
It wasn't full screen to start. I don't know if that's going to affect the video at all, but...
I don't know. Well, we can always check your Minecraft settings, too. Alright, so you told me last time I could have one job while we were getting ready, right? Make arrows. I want you to...
Make arrows.
Look in this trunk.
Oh, cool. That's a lot of arrows.
Yeah, I made those.
Excellent.
I mined a lot of gravel. And I killed a lot of chickens.
Well, you done very good, Nicole. I'm very pleased. That will likely last us, that could last us all the way through if we, if we aim to shoot for the, end game and stuff at a decent clip.
Oh, I will use so many of those arrows missing things. Don't worry.
That's fair. I don't tend to use a whole lot of ranged attacks in Minecraft for reasons I can't really explain because, like, they're empirically a good idea to use. Mm-hmm. But I don't use bows a lot. I don't know why.
Well, I think we're gonna go through the various weapons and stuff at some point, maybe even today. Oh, the other thing I did was, I wanted to start decorating my room a little bit, so go see what I've done.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like the painting choice. You got, I like the, little dog and cat corner.
Yeah, I thought they deserved a mat. And I tried to do like a desk type thing. I was inspired by your kitchen counters.
Mm-hmm.
And then just...
Very nice.
This was originally going to be like a shelf with the trapdoor things, but it didn't quite work out and I couldn't set anything on it, so I made it a dresser out of barrels instead.
Yeah, so with the shelving, because the slab can be set either to the top of the block or the bottom of the block, if you want to make it usable shelving, you have to make sure it's set to the top of the block. Let's see if I don't have any blocks on me. Because, and basically you do that by aiming for the top half of the block. Mm-hmm. Because if it's on the bottom half, then basically the rest of that block can't be used by anything. You can't put anything in the rest of that block. So you wouldn't be able to stack something on top of it. And if you did, it would float, being up on the block above.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I might practice that again sometime, but I think this actually works out pretty well, and the extra storage is nice. But yeah, I decorated my room.
Nice.
then that was the main thing I did. Was work on arrows, and I still did a little bit more clearing out of the in-between section here, because we're preparing for the eventual barnyard area in that direction. Oh, I did some clearing out this way, because this is where I was, where I mined the stuff. The gravel. Where I mined the gravel. There's a quarry over here.
I see. Nice.
So, I would just kind of come over here.
Yeah.
Mine my way through these areas, and then that's how I got the flint. Because I don't actually like being underground as much, so I do a lot of, like, surface projects.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And in a lot of places, you can get a lot of good materials at the surface. Like, as you can see, this area here has a ton of coal. There's, like, veins of copper. There's, in places like this, you'll often find iron. Mountains, you'll often find iron just throughout the mountain on the outside. Like, it's just everywhere. It's really just specific things like lapis, redstone, and diamonds that you really have to go underground for. If you know where to look, most of the rest of the stuff can be found at or around surface level really easily.
So that worked out pretty well. It didn't take me too long. I spent like maybe a couple afternoons working on that. Really, the hardest part was hunting down chickens.
Yeah.
Because I had I did a couple of times go through the penned up ones, but they take so long to grow up that eventually I just started running around. I did go over to that island a little bit, not very long though.
Well, it sounds like you've been productive, so that's cool.
Yeah, I did a little bit of work here and there.
Chicken!
Alright.
Moo!
I have such an instinct now to just go after them, but... Hey, there's something down in the water. Look straight down.
Oh yeah, there's magma blocks.
Oh, okay. This is where we used to have a lava, but we used it.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll find magma blocks at the bottom of water. Often the ocean. I don't know if they're usually in rivers. You have to be careful with them. Yes.
Oh.
If you touch them directly, they can do damage, and as you can see, if you get in their bubble columns, they'll start pulling you downwards into them.
That's what was happening. They have a drag factor. Interesting.
They have a drag factor, and there's another material called soul sand you can get that makes a bubble column too, but it makes a bubble column that pushes up.
Interesting.
And the neat thing about bubble columns is while you're in them, you breathe.
Oh.
They give you air, so you're not drowning.
Interesting. Okay.
So those can be used for a whole bunch of different things.
I wonder why they drag down. Interesting.
The magma blocks drag down to add kind of like... It's one, to give you a mechanic that allows a downward drag, which can be useful for some things. Honestly, the pushing up is more useful because you can use that to make like piping that brings... Like, for example, if you've got a farm or some kind of machine that's building things down below, you can use those, the soul sand and water to push whatever it's making through, like, basically through pipes and send it up into like a chest or something up above it.
Okay.
And that's useful. The drag down, I'm sure there's some applications that are super useful. It's also to make magma blocks in water just like a potential threat. So like, if you're making like a dungeon or something like that for people to explore, you can put those kind of traps in, that kind of stuff.
Do you think we could make an entire Dungeons & Dragons campaign inside of Minecraft?
Theoretically, yeah. It would be a ton of work to build all the stuff, but absolutely possible.
That would be fantastic. Alright, I know what we're doing for the next decade, Jeff.
Yeah, I've had a little bit of experience building dungeons. I don't tend to finish them because I get distracted and stuff, but one of the worlds we once had, Stone and me, Stone and I built a whole bunch of dungeons in kind of like the main island we occupied, and had like special gear I had made, like enchanted items and stuff that I had placed as rewards at the end of these dungeons, and had him go through and like explore the island, and had a bunch of like story stuff that he uncovered, and it was all a big thing, and it was really entertaining.
That's really cool. Ooh.
Oh, you're making a friend.
That's not a friend I wanted.
So, it's night. Do you want to do some combat training?
Yes. Ooh, there's another friend. There's a friend for Jeff.
Okay. So, one thing that is like the key to combat in this game is the jump crit, which I am messing up because he's knocking into me. Where'd he go? There you go. So, if you jump, and let's find another guy. If you jump and time it right, so on the down drop, you swing your sword, you will crit and do, I don't remember how much extra damage, but it's quite a bit of extra damage. It might even double it. I don't really remember, but it's a timing thing, because you have to be on the down, like coming down from the drop. Let's see if we can find another zombie. And you'll get a particle effect. It'll kind of send out a bunch of particles around you.
It'll be a visible crit.
Yeah, and like when you did your jump crit on him, your jump hit on him, it did crit. It did do the particles.
Oh, it did? Okay.
So like, take a look at me. I'm gonna murder a poor cow. I don't think I did it. I died instantly, so maybe I did, but I don't think I did it. I didn't see the particles.
I didn't see anything special, no.
Am I lagging? I might be lagging.
Possibly. Oh, skeleton, bro.
Excellent.
Oops.
Well.
Alright, that was not a jump.
Oh, you've got a horde of friends.
Oh, wow. Things got a little hairy there. Jump! Okay, I don't think I did that time. That's okay.
I got him there. There's another zombie coming. There we go. So jump. Oh, I was out of range.
Jump!
Sorry, I'm getting used to this new keyboard, and it's very different.
Jump!
And sometimes in combat, it's better to just swing wildly to knock them back, give yourself some breathing room. The jump swing is best when you've got a second before they'll actually reach you, or when they're like when skeletons are reloading. Because if you're hit during it, they'll knock you back, as the audience has seen, has been happening to me over and over again. They'll knock you back and kind of mess up your swing, and you won't hit them at all. Oh, speaking of
I do struggle
skeletons.
with skeletons a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, skeletons are rough. They are one of the hardest enemies, and I will show you another trick that will help you with skeletons. And that is the beautiful thing called a shield.
Oh, that's right. I had de-equipped mine briefly. I was getting a nice shot of the moon rising. So I will fix that.
Yeah, and the shield tends to get in the way for like getting good views and stuff, because it unfortunately clutters up your screen. But against skeletons, it's invaluable, because once you block a shot, they take a little bit of time to reload. That gives you a lot of time to close the gap, maybe even get some hits off before they shoot again. You block it, and then you murder them.
Okay. Oh, I also you've got a friend following you. It was the Phantom.
Oh,
Is that what they're
okay.
called?
Yeah, the flying guys. Yeah, phantoms.
I also think my screen tends to be a little more naturally cluttered than yours because of the Switch format.
Yeah.
So.
I messed up I jumped way too early on that one.
Do you like fighting phantoms?
Yeah, I let him hit me.
Okay.
Well,
Let him get you, huh?
I am clearly out of practice, because I used to be modestly okay at this. I am no longer even okay at this anymore. But yeah, that's kind of the basics of combat. There honestly isn't a whole lot more to it. Wild swinging to knock things back is valuable. You can get an enchant on your sword to do knockback. Which can be helpful. I don't tend to use it, but I think it's a good one to have. Because keeping enemies at bay is like half of surviving in Minecraft.
So we have our guard tower now, and I want to make use of having that just for the fun of hunting things. But oh wow, hey bro. Look, wrong target. You want that one over there. Will they attack me even though I have slept recently?
Yeah, so I think they prioritize... I'm not really sure how their AI works. I always thought they prioritized the person who spawned them, but, like, I have seen this, where they attack somebody who has slept recently, so I guess they just, like, attack whoever's around.
Okay. Anyway, what I was saying was, I'd like to make use of the guard tower for, like, combat practice, but it keeps... That area gets blown up a lot by creepers. Is there, like... Should we put up walls and things to sort of make it a more defensible location?
Yeah, we can put up, like, a short wall around it that'll keep monsters from getting in. That'll at least make it easier to come and go without, like, turning a corner and finding a creeper.
Okay. Like all these guys over here. There's actually been quite a lot of creepers in this area. That's fine. I feel safe with Jeff around to defend me.
Well, you probably shouldn't, but okay.
No, I probably shouldn't.
Oh, a spizzer. I got some string.
String is always good.
Sorry, I'm having allergies and my voice is kind of messed up as a result.
Well, I think today will probably be a short day for your voice anyway. I don't think we have a ton of stuff going on. I am retreating to the safety of the house for a reason.
Oh, combat tip number 2 or 3 or whatever we're on. Make sure you're watching your health bar and your food bar. You need to stay topped off. One of the things I see get people killed all the time is that they're so focused on fighting, they don't really realize they've taken a bunch of damage and their food has run out, so they're not actually healing it.
That makes sense.
And health management is hugely important.
I am full up on everything, and I carry 62 pork chops right now.
Yeah, I'm carrying a ton of food. Let me put away all this, these ill-gotten gains that I got from fighting stuff.
Oh, that's fair. I've been using this trunk out front to just kind of dump stuff in, because I figured you'll organize it later.
Yeah, I'm gonna put... We'll use the chest here for, where the arrows and stuff are for, like, tools and arrows. I've got kind of a chest towards the front for, monster bits, things that they drop. Like spider's eyes and such. I'll go ahead and load that up. This is a bunch of stuff we'll have to organize. Oh, you have kelp. Cool, we can use kelp for some cool things.
I think I bought it off a trader. It's just at random.
Okay. Yeah, you can find it in the ocean. But it's one of those things that is kind of useful and potentially super useful, but more because it's automatic than because it's actually, like, potent, because you can use it as a food source. What? It is a bad food source. Okay. You can cook it. And you basically make, like, you know, like that Japanese style black seaweed stuff.
Oh, neat. But why is that
It's
a bad
just-
food source? Is this hard to...
It gives you almost no food. You have to eat a ton of it for it to do anything. And you have to cook it, and it's just kind of inefficient. But you can also take the seaweed, the cooked seaweed, and like turn it into blocks and stuff, and you can use it as a smelting furnace, like fuel.
Interesting.
Again, it's not the most efficient fuel, but because it grows and you can build a machine that automatically harvests it, you can even make a machine that automatically harvests it, turns it into blocks, cooks it, all the stuff, and then feeds it into your furnace, so it's constantly filling up your furnace fuel.
Nice. I actually did learn something off of the loading screen one time. It talked about burning wood with wood and making charcoal.
Yep. A lot of the starting torches that we had, and a lot of the starting like furnace cooking that I did with like to smelt the iron and stuff, was done with charcoal because we didn't have a whole lot of coal in the beginning. I still make charcoal sometimes just because honestly I just haven't found that much coal while mining. What I need to do is go out there to those stone areas like the quarry area and just get all that coal up. But I just haven't gone out and gotten coal much.
Alright, today's your lucky day, chickens. Jeff decreed we have enough arrows to suffice.
At least for now. We'll see how much we use, and, after the next couple adventures, when we go out and explore places, we'll see what we got left arrow-wise. And if we're good, then we're good.
Okay.
And if we need to make more, we'll make more. So they get a stay of execution for now.
They do.
Good chickens.
I mean, they are good chickens. But this one.
That one's not a good chicken.
I mean, I'm sure it was fine. But it was not in the pen. Therefore, it was,
It was plotting against us, Nicole.
Okay. Your paranoia, Jeff.
Oh, I missed the jump.
I'll have to practice jump hitting.
Yeah, it takes some timing practice, and I'm not sure if my problem is that I'm bad or if my problem is that I'm not used to my new keyboard, because I'm definitely not used to my new keyboard, but I don't know if I can use that as an excuse. It might not be. Okay, so this is another thing.
Okay, what
you saw the
just
lightning
happened?
strike?
No.
You saw the lightning strike? There was a
heard
lightning
it.
strike, and it summoned a bunch of skeleton archers on horseback.
at
But these aren't
random?
just. I think
Oh
so.
my
Yeah, I
gosh,
don't
they're
remember if there's a
skeletal
trigger for that.
horses. What is
And if
this
you're careful-
nonsense?
If you're careful to kill the skeletons and not the horses, that's why I'm not jump critting, because it's a little less accurate.
That's fair.
We can actually. Oops, I killed a horse. Sorry.
We're trying to keep the horses.
Yeah,
Ooh.
because the horses are not aggressive. You can tame these.
We can have skeletal horses? You can ride it?
We'll have to get saddles, but yeah, we can have a horde of skeleton
That's
horses.
exciting. Oh my gosh, there's more of them. Do you want to... I don't know if we have any
Yeah, I'll
saddles.
go get saddles. We've at least got a couple on the horses we've already got, so I will bring those over. We can swap the saddles around as needed, but we should at least...
Does lightning just randomly happen? Because it's not, like, cloudy that much.
So the summon skeletons thing, I think that's a random event that can just spontaneously happen. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, but...
I'm so mad I wasn't looking in your direction. I hope you got that on video.
I did. I don't know how clearly, but I saw the flash, and the being suddenly shot by a horde of skeletons. Speaking of which, let's keep my health up.
So what's the so there's a new thing on my bar, like a new track above my food now that I'm riding the skeleton horse.
Yeah, so while you're on a horse of any kind, or any kind of mount. Oh, is this guy just not tamed? Yeah, that's just gotta be not tamed. While you're on a horse or any kind of mount, here's a saddle I'm throwing down for you. If you, yep, you got it. I don't know if you can control... Oh, you might not need a saddle for these guys. I seem to be able to control it anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm just,
Oh, I thought you needed a saddle. Oops. Be very careful with the water. Don't get in the water.
Okay.
I kind of forgot that they can't swim. You'll have to...
They can't swim? Oh my gosh, bro.
So they can't drown because they're undead, but they also can't swim. So you can walk it up the side there, like they can just walk up blocks.
Oh, there's a side over here.
I tried to do the jump, but I mistimed the jump.
No, we're good, we're good. Alright, I got one over. Alright.
Oh wow, this guy did not jump
You
at all.
stay here. I gotta go get your friends. We need to put these guys someplace so we don't lose them.
Yeah. I think once we've ridden them, they shouldn't despawn now.
Really? Okay.
I think so. Typically, once you tame something, it won't despawn, but these guys aren't really tamed the same way. I'll check and see if we have name tags. If we've got 1 or 2 name tags, we can name tag them, and once something's name tagged, it definitely won't despawn.
Okay.
Yeah, we have 1 name tag. So we can definitely save 1 of them at least. Okay. For now, I'm going to put this one in the horse pen. Let me go... I don't have iron around here, do I? No. Gotta go back to the house. Well, we can do a quick lesson on how name tags work, and how anvils work. Anvils are quite...
Ooh, do we have an anvil?
We're about to. I'm heading back to the house to make one.
Should I stay with these guys?
Yeah, go ahead and bring them over to the, like, the horse pen, and just... We'll put them near there, at least. We can make a new little enclosure for them, and then eventually they'll go in the barn. Once we have that. But let me grab a bunch of iron. You can just put them alongside it. I will... Oh, let me grab some, like, fencing, and we'll just make a new little enclosure for them. Even if it's just a temporary thing.
I'm kind of trapped. I don't think we have a gate on this one.
The horse enclosure? Yeah. No, there is one. There is a gate there. It is, I think there's a pair of gates. There's at least 1 gate. It's probably just being blocked by, pony faces.
Probably, or pony butts. Oh, I found it.
Pony butts, yep.
Alright.
Did I not? I guess I didn't pull the planks out like I thought I did. Okay.
Well, you've got 1 in there, and I'm trying to keep my eye on these other 2.
Yep, I'm on my way. I've got some fences to make a temporary enclosure, and some gates.
That lightning was really, like, I heard it, and it scared me a little bit.
Yeah, it's sudden. And one thing to know is during rainstorms, sometimes it will be a thunderstorm and will thunder, and like lightning. Lightning will strike. And
we'll get more skeleton horses?
Not usually. Usually what happens... do we want to just put them down here?
Yeah, put them next to the hay that they can't eat because they have no stomach.
Yeah. Poor horsies. The thing about lightning is it... if it strikes a villager... So it doesn't always make skeleton horses. Usually what it does... is it will strike a villager and turn them into a witch. Or it will strike, like, a wooden building and set the building on fire. Now, we have the setting on where fire spread is not on, so it won't... oops, I meant to jump there, not... so it won't set things on fire and, like, spread the fire. So lightning isn't as dangerous, but technically you can be struck by lightning. Like, that can happen. And it does damage.
Does it turn me into a witch?
No. Unfortunately, you don't get witch powers. But once a villager turns into a witch, unlike when a villager turns into a zombie, there is a cure for that. There isn't a cure for witchdom. They will just always be hostile.
Oh, man. I think a witch is what I encountered that one time. And it threw something at me.
Yeah, they throw potions, and the potions do things like poison you, slow you, weaken you, all sorts of stuff. Oh, right. So, I'm gonna give you iron. in the crafting table, you're gonna have to make, I think it's, here, let me check, but I think it's 3. You are making an anvil. To make it, you're gonna need to make blocks of iron first, a few of those. I'm checking how many. You need 3, and a block of iron, just, you basically fill up the crafting table with iron ingots, iron.
Okay, I was looking to see if I maybe had it under construction, because that's a much easier interface for the Switch.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a search feature that you can type into, but I imagine on the Switch that's really just kind of clunky and hard to use.
Maybe. Let me give it a try. Oh, it looks... Okay, I found it. It looks different and it's new. So it's 3 blocks of iron on top of iron ingots in kind of like this eye shape. I've made an anvil, Jeff.
Then go ahead and place it down. Yeah, so the anvil can do a few things. For one, if you were to take, say, here is an enchanted bow that's damaged. If you were to take this enchanted bow and combine it with another bow or with the materials used to make a bow, I don't remember what it is that repairs bows. Maybe it's sticks or something, but you could repair, like if I had diamonds, I could put my diamond hoe in.
I just happen to have a bow, so I will use that.
Yeah, so go ahead and stick those in, and it should, at the end result, have a bow that's still enchanted.
Yeah, it says bow power 1.
Yes. So the thing is that if you were to combine a bow and an enchanted bow in your inventory, it would repair it, but it would lose the enchantment, because you can't keep an enchantment when you're repairing something, unless you have an anvil. Anvils hold on to the enchantment, and you can even combine them. So if you had like a pickaxe that had, like in my case, I have a Silk Touch Efficiency pickaxe, but it doesn't have Unbreaking. If I had another pickaxe that did have Unbreaking, I could combine the two, and it would make a super pickaxe that had all of those enchants.
Oh, wow.
So that's a great way of like upgrading your gear and making sure like, you know, your tools have all the enchants you want. There is a limit, like you can't stack every enchant in the game all on the same item, and I'm not exactly sure how the limit works, but it has something to do with after a certain point, like you can't spend enough, you can't have enough experience to upgrade, like to repair it, and at that point it'll block any enchants from being put on it. But so the anvil can be used to repair things, combine things, that kind of stuff. And then finally, it can be used to rename things. So here's a name tag. If you stick that in the first slot, and then up at the top, up at the top where it says the name, like it says name tag, you can erase that and type in something else. And that will become the name of the name tag. And like you could do this with your sword, and then your sword will have that name forever. Mm-hmm. And specifically name tags, if you use them on a creature like a pig or whatever, the pig will then get that name floating over its head, like yours says Ilid Kav. Mm-hmm. The pig will then have that name floating over their head. Name tags prevent mobs from despawning, so like you could put it on like a zombie or something, and the zombie will never despawn. You'd have to keep it out of the sunlight because it can still die, but it will never just despawn on you. And that's the main use, is keeping them from despawning. That's the main thing we're trying to do with these horses, because I don't think they'll despawn now that we've ridden them, but let's be safe, because I've had some issues in the past where like certain creatures have despawned when they're kind of not supposed to. So name tag is safe.
So you just take the name and then you put it on something?
Yeah, once you have... So, basically, you put the item in to the anvil, you change the name at the top, and then you take it out of the final slot, where it'll now have that name. Okay. And then you could just use the name tag on what you want. So you just put the name tag in your hand and click on the horse with it, basically. You can't use it on inanimate objects, so you don't have to worry about like accidentally naming your fence. To name a fence, you have to go through the anvil interface.
You've been the chosen
so name tags
one.
can't be used on. And now it's Bones McCoy.
Bones McCoy.
There you
It's
go.
the only appropriate name for a skeleton for.
Yep.
I'm sure we could come up with
Unfortunately, we'll definitely come up with some skeleton puns for sure. The thing about name tags is you can really only get them from and as you can see, if you mouse over him, it'll pop up with Bones McCoy. You can really only get them from like doing adventuring, like in chests in like underground random spawn dungeons and stuff. You can find them, and you can get them from fishing. You unfortunately can't make name tags, which is a huge bummer, but I guess they want us to explore the world and stuff.
That's fair.
Yeah, I suppose. I'm going to go ahead and take the anvil with us and bring it up to the house. Because that'll be useful to have there.
Alright, I don't think I crit, but that's fair. I at least killed this thing. Oh, I gotta show you the thing I broke, or the place where the thing was that I broke it. Oh, you're probably gonna be mad at me, Jeff.
No, I'm not going to be mad. But we can at least take care of whatever it was. Do you remember what it was you broke?
Yeah, your de-enchant thing. Your disenchant thing. The thing that's next to the enchanting table that wasn't the enchanting table.
Okay.
It looked like a metal canister of some sort.
Okay. I think you're talking about the grindstone.
The thing that was over in this corner, there.
Yeah. Okay.
I was
yeah,
moving it from there to there, and that didn't work.
What did you use to break it?
I don't remember.
So I'm pretty sure if you had used a pickaxe, it would have broken and you'd be able to pick it up. It's just a lot of blocks are picky about what tool you use. If you break them with like your hand or the wrong tool, they won't drop properly.
Okay.
So if you take, let me try and remember. This is one of those recipes I don't always remember, but it's like 1 iron and some stone basically. Let me pull up the recipe. Grindstone. So you need oh, it's not even iron. That's the cutting table thingy. So it's actually pretty simple. We need 2 oak planks, which I have, 2 sticks, which I have, and a stone slab, which if I don't have, we can get from downstairs. I don't have one in my inventory, but we can cut some stone to make it. We really need to get a stone cutter, because that'll save us a lot of effort. Yeah, so in fact, let's go ahead and just make one. Stone cutters are really handy. Can you drop me 1 iron, please?
1 iron.
So the grindstone is just I'm sorry, the stone cutter is just 3 stone across in a row, with an iron in the center on top, kind of like a Tetris piece, 3 across, 1 in the middle, up above, like a bump above it, like half of an eye. And the stone cutter can be used, well, to cut stone. Let's put that over here. Move, kitty. Okay, bye, kitty. Okay, sure. So the stone cutter, and we'll probably make a table for it a bit later. If you put stone in the stone cutter, it'll give you the option, and here, I'll let you do it because you need to make a stone slab anyway. I'm throwing the other materials you need. So if you take a piece of stone and you put it in the stone cutter, you'll see that it on the left will pop up with a bunch of things you can make out of it.
Okay.
And this is a way of, like, you can make all these blocks out of stone with just a crafting interface, but the thing is, to make stone slabs or stone stairs, you actually lose some stone. Like, it's not a one-to-one trade. Like, stone stairs take 6 stone to make, but you only get 4 stairs. If you make them in a stone cutter, you get 1 stair per stone, so you'll actually save on stone.
Okay.
And this, you can do this with regular stone, you can do this with andesite, you can do it with any kind of stone that can be made into stairs and slabs and stuff.
Gotcha.
So once you have that slab, go ahead and in the crafting table, you'll have to pull up the grindstone. It's under items, and it is.
I found it.
2 planks.
2 sticks, 2 planks, 1 one stone slab.
And we'll just stick that back. And you had wanted to move its location? You wanted it in the corner?
Well, I wanted it here. It was one over.
Oh, okay.
That was incredibly particular of me.
It's fine.
What does this thing do anyway?
So if you put an enchanted item in it, say like you put a pickaxe in the enchanter and it rolled up an enchant you didn't want, like you're trying for silk touch and it gave you fortune, because you can only have either fortune or silk touch on an item. You can't have both.
Okay.
So if you get like a fortune pickaxe and you've already got one, you can stick it in the disenchant thing. Like you could stick that enchanted bow in the repair and disenchant. You can use this to repair items, just like the anvil, and you can also use it to strip the enchant off of items.
Oh, okay.
And when you do that, not only will you get your item back with the enchant gone, you'll also get a little experience from it. Just a smidge, but it can be nice if you're getting a whole bunch of enchanted garbage off of zombies. It's like, power 1 and these other like baby enchants that aren't very good. You can either combine them together in an anvil to get a stronger enchant, because that's another thing, was with the anvil, if you take like 2 power 1 enchants and put them together, they become power 2.
Okay.
And they'll become stronger and stronger. But if you don't want to do that, you can instead disenchant the item and get a little experience out of it. Like I'm going to put this almost dead iron helmet in, and some like gold helmets and stuff. Like I'm not going to use gold armor. So just disenchant that, and a little experience comes out. I'm going to put a whole bunch of stuff in the storage room, because I am carrying a bunch of garbaggio. With the anvil, we can either put that in the workshop room, or we can put that in the basement where the forge is going, where we kind of got the forge stuff. Do you have a preference?
An anvil should go in the workshop. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't
upstairs?
know. Well, put it upstairs for now, and then as we expand the basement, we might do more.
As long as you break it with a pickaxe, you can pick it up. You don't need to use silk touch or anything.
Okay.
The one thing is, as you use it, you'll start to notice it starts cracking.
Oh.
It will eventually break. They are not infinite use.
Okay.
Now, that's fine, because you can just make new ones. They are expensive in terms of iron, but they also last a little while.
That was a pretty steep iron price there.
Yeah, but they last a fair while, so, they don't break quickly, and if we start having problems with iron, we'll build an iron farm, and then it'll be fine. Because there is a way to automatically generate iron. And I think, ultimately, if our plan is to keep this world going for a while, we definitely want to build an iron farm. It's one of the most important builds you can do, as far as, like, automatic farms go.
I think so. I don't know. I don't know what the longevity of Lemonburg's going to be. We'll find out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me,
There's always the possibility that once, like, I'm actually know more about the... I mean, I've been playing for a while now. Over a month. In real time.
Yeah.
I do want to explore more of the world at some point. That's a great shot of you, Jeff.
Yeah. I do think we need to decide if we want to schedule something with Stone, or if we want to just do that adventure on our own. I know he has not had a lot of energy after work lately, so he's hoping to build up his stamina and be able to be more functional after work, but work is a lot.
The snake bite was a lot too, so...
Yeah, the snake bite was a lot. Yeah. And he's gotten a newer injury to his leg that is unrelated to the snake bite,
buddy.
But that's the main problem he's running into, is with that pain, his stamina is very, very reduced. So he's not, like, after work, he's basically going home and then kind of crashing in bed and just vegetating for the rest of the evening.
That's fine. He can do what he needs to do. We've got our own thing going on. So my thought is, let's start planning smaller trips, especially ones that are the educational variety. Like, I don't want to postpone learning potions for too long. So I know that is something we need to do, apart from getting the redwood for the barn. So. Yeah.
Potions is going to be a big trip, but it's one that we don't we don't have to wait for stone for that one. We can if we want, but I think it makes sense to kind of push forward and just do that when we can. I was thinking after we cap the tower, potions or redwood trip might be next.
Yeah.
But if you'd like to do some smaller trips, just to kind of get used to exploring and just do a little bit of it. I can figure out some things, some objectives to kind of check off, because there's a lot of materials, like I've said before, there's a lot of materials we don't have yet that a little exploration trip could go find for us. A lot of different kinds of woods we can bring back and then be able to plant and grow. That kind of stuff. There's a ton of that kind of stuff.
Do you want us to try to cap off the tower while we're here? I don't think that's a big project.
No, we can go ahead and do that.
And then I don't think that this came up on recording yet, but we did some safety hazards around, because apparently this island has a lot of holes that go into the depths, and we have not explored that yet. But started putting up some crap. Sorry. Safety barriers to prevent falling in. Doesn't work if you stand on them. Alright, okay. Clearly.
Do you know about crouching to prevent falling?
No, I did not know about crouching to prevent.
So I don't know what the crouching on your console is, but on. Okay. Ow. Stupid Phantom. So on computer it's shift, and while you're shifting, or in your case just crouching, as you can see, I'm walking around and I'm currently pushing to the right as hard as I can to try and fall off, and because I'm crouching, I will not.
It stops you from going as far. Oop.
Yeah. Okay. Now, one thing to know is if something pops you,
Jeff,
crouching won't help.
You're a monster, Jeff. You're not supposed to be the kind of parent who pushes the baby bird out the nest.
Gotta learn the hard way.
Apparently. Oh no, don't take out my easy way out. Okay, I'm staying away from that now.
Well, if you can easily get out, then monsters can climb out of the depths and get us.
Alright, okay. Alright, back to serious stuff here. We're gonna put a final bit on top of our guard tower.
Yeah. So the quick question, would you rather use deep slate, which is in the chest, the big chest that I've got opened, the dark gray, or would you rather use tough, the other chest, which is a less dark gray?
Kind of maybe patchwork, put some tough in. Is tough the name of an actual material in reality?
I think it actually is. I want to say it's a volcanic thing, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. But we could do bits of tough around, but then do the top be that dark deep slate.
Yeah.
And it'll look more like an evil enchanter's tower than a guard tower, but you get what you get sometimes.
Yeah.
We probably want to put in those buttons for the doors, right? So that they automatically close.
Yeah, we can put in some pressure plates so that the doors will close themselves. I think we make those out of stone so they kind of blend in with the floor. So I'll go ahead and do that. Pressure plates are made by just putting two side by side. In this case, stone. You can also do wooden planks to make different colors of wood pressure plates. You can also do gold. Gold has a interesting weight mechanic where, like, it'll sense items and stuff where, like, iron won't. And so you can use gold and iron to kind of, like, judge kind of how much things weigh in a weird way. So you can use that for some things.
I'm gonna put a couple of the tough bricks around, just for funsies.
Okay, yeah.
Levels.
Experiment with that. I'm gonna try and see about widening the top of the tower, because one of the things we want is we want it to kind of balloon outward, like you know, and have like that kind of crenellation thing.
We do.
So let me clear up the walls we had on top, and we'll put new walls in once we've done that. Oh shoot!
What did you do, Jeff?
I met the Phantom, and he gave me a kiss, and it hurt.
He needs to be...
do you have a bed on you?
Do I have med on me? Where all the guards would sleep, type of a thing? Like beds and trunks and stuff?
I think that makes a ton of sense.
There we go.
We'll have to get some more beds for that, but that's a good idea. Okay, let's finish up. Knock out all this.
Oh wow, that sunset behind the tower looks amazing.
Oh yeah.
That's incredible. Do you think Stone's gonna be impressed by our guard tower? Oh gosh! Oh gosh! Oh, we got it!
It's not lit up there.
Oh my gosh, there's so many of them.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to light up the area.
Oh, that was that was a thing that happened.
Yeah. Looks like the damage was minimal.
Yeah.
So that's good at least.
Fantastic.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Okay. I'm gonna have to do some correction.
The cap does look a little bit doofier than I was expecting, but that's, I think...
Yeah.
That's just gonna be what it's gonna be.
We might think about rebuilding it at some point, because, yeah, it does.
I think we might have to go back to the straighter top of the tower. We might just add...
Yeah. We can also, like, shrink it in a row, like, just not have it quite so wide.
Possibly.
It doesn't have to balloon out as much as it does. And that might help.
Maybe.
Because I think it just balloons out too much.
I think so. I think it's just a little too much. Or we might have to put it back into regular stone rather than having it as high contrast with the deep slate. I don't know.
Well, maybe I'll experiment with some stuff off camera and see if I can make something a little bit nicer, and we'll see if we like it. And if not, we'll do a whole project of rebuilding the top.
Yeah, okay.
But
I really love the idea of it being a reclaimed wizard's tower. Like, that's fun. Looks like we've run out of material for today. You say thanks for playing along.
Sorry, Nicole, I don't remember the lines. Yeah, thanks for playing along. Okay.